Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you a storyline of a thriller movie from 2021 titled Oxygen. This is a movie about a woman that woke up in a locked pod without knowing what happened to her beforehand. She has to get out of that pod if she doesn't want to run out of oxygen and die. A closed space and no oxygen. Wow, that's real scary. Before we move on to the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the latest videos from this channel. The movie started when a woman woke up in a cryogenics pod without remembering anything happened beforehand. The pod is locked and she can't get out of there. The oxygen level in the cryogenics pod is also at a critical level. By going through her memories, she remembers that she might be in a hospital. The AI responsible of keeping her medical information answers the questions she asked, and this AI name was Milo. When she knows that the oxygen level in that pod is decreasing as time goes by, she started to get panicked and called for help. Yet, no one answered. She asked Milo if her pod failure has been reported, and it said that it did. But there's still no response from headquarters. She's trying to make herself calm so that the oxygen will not be used too fast. As she's getting calmed down, she started to look for information about herself from Milo. Unfortunately, Milo has no data about her identity, only as a patient with code Omicron 267. She's thinking hard about what to do, but that makes the oxygen level in the pod to decrease suddenly. She gets images like memories of her about to die because of running out of oxygen. There are also images of mice used in a lab for a test, which she still doesn't know of what was that about. She tried to calm down again and start asking Milo about the reason of why she's been there. When she's about to get the information about her medical report from Milo, it once again denied it because it needs time for that to process. She started to beg Milo to let her out, and when it gives no as an answer, she tried to instruct it to unlock the pod. Magically, Milo processed it. But then it asked for the authentication code, which she didn't have. And once again, she failed to get out. She's getting agitated, but she had an idea to try giving a call outside. This time she succeeded to make a call to the police. The police officer tried to help her to identify where she is by giving some questions which she answered under the pressured situation. At first a police officer thought that she's making a false report since she knows nothing about herself. But then he believes her after seeing how desperate she is. He asked about the things she remembered while helping to track the call transmission. Unfortunately, he can't rack the call. This makes her believe that the hospital where the pod located must be in the underground. She's getting emotional, but the officer tried to help her looks for information about the pod she locked in, the serial number and anything. He then tried to transfer her call to his superior, which she strongly disagrees because she doesn't want to be left alone. But he still did it anyway. And the worst comes true, the call was getting disconnected. She's so sad, but trying to get strong and look for another solution. Struck by a sudden idea, she tried to do a DNA search on her own body and look for the matching one outside. That bears fruit, she gets to know another DNA matched hers under the name of Elizabeth Hansen. She's starting to recall memories by calling herself Elizabeth and Liz. But suddenly, there's a big commotion outside. Thinking that there's someone right outside, she's shouting for help again. Before getting a response, Milo said that she's getting an incoming call. She answered the call, identified herself as Elizabeth Hansen to the caller, which actually Captain Moreau of Department Science and Technology. He asked about her oxygen level in the pod and how much time she has until it runs out. Milo calculated it as 43 minutes before it runs out of oxygen. He then asked about what she remembers and who might want to hurt her, but she can't answer that. She remembers nothing. From him, she gets to know that according to the manufacturer, the unit where she should be in has already been destroyed 3 years ago. That left her stunned. She then asked for medical report on her as Omicron 267, and the result is normal, she's not sick. Even according to Milo, she should have another 82 years to live in that condition. That made her panic. She's questioning about why she is there when she shouldn't be, as she's healthy. She's crying and panicking, but Captain Moreau calling out to her to help her stay calm. Liz asked for admin code to get her out of the pod, and Captain Moreau agreed to that, but it needs time. Then the call suddenly gets disconnected. She's panicking, and her oxygen level gets to 29%, with 0% of survival probability. With this notification from Milo, a syringe suddenly comes out from the side of the pod. Milo launched an obligatory palliative care protocol based on her current condition. She tried to eject it, but Milo keeps going with the procedure. She then hits the syringe and broken it. Because of that, she started to feel exhausted and slowly seeing hallucinations. She's feeling like she's already outside, in the open area, where trees and butterflies were around her. While in fact, she's still in the pod. Her consciousness slowly slipping out of her, and she started to see a man doing some research in her memories. She asked Milo how long since the call connection lost, and it's actually 7 minutes ago. She's trying to look for people who might be able to help her, and for that, she searched about Elizabeth Hansen. She asked for the press released under her name, and there she found about cryogenics. She's actually a doctor in cryogenics, and she did this research on herself. Then she's asking for her social media, where she can see some photos of her and her husband. By going through the photos, she started to remember things about her husband, Dr. Leo Ferguson. She tried to call him. There are 2 numbers enlisted under his name. The first number is unassigned, while the second number call is connected, and an old woman answered the call. She's asking for Leo from her and said that she is his wife, but then the call was getting turned off by the source. She tried to reconnect, but her calls were rejected. She said to never call again. Milo once again notified her that her oxygen level gets to 21%. She then tried to open the bind on her by force, but it didn't budge. Then she tried to open the bind on her feet, and it succeeded. After that, she started to take a closer look on her pod, looking for its way to operate. While doing that, suddenly there's a rat inside the pod. She's so shocked, but that's actually not a real rat. It's just her hallucinations. She keeps trying to do something to the pod with the cable inside the pod. The Milo recommend a sedative to her, and she said yes, because she want to break it. When the syringe is out once again, she tried to catch it and break it. She made it. And then she used the syringe as tool to damage the pod, but she's not successful. There's incoming call for her, from Captain Moreau. He said they'll give her the code and they have gotten where she is. He kept talking to people while speaking to her. When she asked, he said he didn't talk to anyone, just her. Milo then said that oxygen level gets to 17%. Captain Moreau then explained to her that she had psychotic episode and things she saw are just hallucinations. She started to questions about what's real and what's not, and she pricked herself with a syringe to prove that. She saw things again, now about her, and Leo tried to have kid at Clara Daniels Hospital. She tells the story to Captain Moreau, but he said that she should not be married. When she tried to look for Leo again through Milo, the search gets nothing. Even the photos she's seeing before gets cut off. Anything about Leo and Elizabeth as scientists are missing from the internet. She gets flustered, and she even told Moreau that she called Leo's number and a woman answered. He tried to convince her that it's not real. He said that Leo is not real, and he said things about her past memories, which strangely didn't match with her own memory. She's getting suspicious. Her oxygen level gets to 15%, and yet, Moreau still cannot find where she is. She started to question Moreau and disconnected the call. From then on, memories about Leo kept pouring in. He's sick and in the verge of dying. Calls also keep coming in, but she rejected it all. She replays the call from Moreau again to hear about what Moreau said to the people there. And he said that they should make her confusing her memories. Then another call coming in, and she answered it, thinking of Moreau. But it's actually the woman who answered Leo's number is answering her. She said she can help her, but Liz doesn't want to listen. She wants Leo, but the woman said Leo is dead. Liz hanged up the call. The call coming in again, and she accepted, just to get the code. The woman gives her the code, and she tried it. The woman said to not open the door, but Liz insisted. She said Liz will die if she opens the door, and then Liz gives her time to explain. From the woman she knows that she's not on Earth, she's out of space. The woman said that Liz was on mission and something went wrong, which makes her awake from hypersleep. She would help Liz to be back into hypersleep mode, but Liz won't take it. Liz asked about the mission, and she said that it was about moving humankind from Earth to another planet, and because something went wrong on her pod, people should not know about that. Because Liz called the police when she woke up, the government caught on her error and they want Liz to die without remembering anything. Liz asked about Leo, and she get to know that there's a virus killing millions of people on Earth. It also killed Leo. She also knows that she has been put under hypersleep for 12 years. After that, Liz agrees to the woman's offer to help her. She said for Liz to put herself to hypersleep again and to find Leo, but she didn't understand what find Leo means. As she knows, Leo is dead. While saying that, Liz can hear people are coming on the woman's side, and it seems like they arrest her. Liz then tries to break the pod so that Milo will electrocute her, as it helps her to remember. But she remembers nothing. She decided to call her mom to say goodbye and wait for her death to come. She then wants to open the door and died to meet Leo in the afterlife, but then she aborts it. She figured out that Leo is inside a pod, just like her. She tried to find him. She found Leo, and he's alive as Omicron 42. Yet, he looked good without the scars he gets when he's sick. She then tried to find videos of Elizabeth Hansen, and there, she sees herself in the old form. She found that she's a clone, and the woman calling her before was the real Elizabeth Hansen. She feels out of hope, no one can help her, and she then records messages to Leo or Omicron 42 as goodbye. As oxygen level gets 3%, the euthanasia protocol automatically launched. She tried to unbind all cables connected to her so that she won't die. She made it. She wants to be put in hypersleep, and for this, she needs to connect all cables back to herself. Unfortunately, her oxygen level has reached less than 1%, which is impossible to resuscitate herself anymore, even after hypersleep protocol activated. She's saying goodbye to Leo through the message recorded by Milo for Omicron 42 as the last thing she can do. Subtly, she gets an idea to get oxygen from other lost Omicron while she's been put under hypersleep protocol, which Milo proceeds. On the last scene, Liz and Leo are seen together on the beach, hugging each other. And that's a wrap of the movie. So, what do you think about the storyline of Oxygen movie? Leave a comment below about what you think, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video link to your friends. Also turn on your notification bell to get notification on our updates. See you on the next videos and bye bye.